Ramadan is more than overtime, as we will learn inshallah. So Ramadan became legislated in the second year of Hijrah. When did Ramadan become legislated? In the second year of Hijrah, because the ayah, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ أَيَّامًا مَعْدُودَاتٍ. This ayah is Surah Al-Baqarah, and Surah Al-Baqarah is from the surahs revealed of the Madani era. So the way fasting was prescribed, inshallah, as Ustad Ahmed, he said that we'll give some prizes, so I'm going to ask questions after. Ramadan was revealed, fasting was revealed in this nation, for this nation, it had 3 levels. Fasting had how many levels? 3 times fasting became obligatory. The first level was when they migrated to Medina, the Muslims would fast for only 3 days in a month. They would fast for only 3 days in a month. Afterwards, the ayat came in Surah Al-Baqarah. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, those who have faith, iman, kutiba alaykum as-siyam, fasting has been made obligatory upon you, kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum, as it has been made obligatory upon those that came before you, la'allakum tattaqun, so you may have a taqwa. أيام معدودات فمن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخرى وعلى الذين يطيقونه فدية طعام مسكين. So the second time it became obligatory is that they would have to fast the month of Ramadan, but they had an option. فمن تطوع خيرا فهو خير له وأن تصوموا خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. So what was the first time fasting came down? What was the ruling? What was the ruling for the first time? The Muslims had to fast for how many days? 3 days. The second time it came down, they had the option to either fast وَعَلَى الَّذِينَ يُطِيقُونَ فِدْيَةً طَعَامُ الْمِسْكِينَ. They had the option to either fast or to give fidya, feed a miskin, a poor person, or a faqir, in place of their fasting. وَأَن تَصُومُوا, if you were to fast, خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ, is better for you. And the third time when the ayah came down, شَهْرُ رَمَضَانَ الَّذِي أُنزِلَ فِيهِ الْقُرْآنُ هُدًى لِلنَّاسِ وَبَيِّنَاتٍ مِنَ الْهُدَى وَالْفُرْقَانِ فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنكُمُ الشَّهْرَ فَلْيَصُمْهُ. This is when it became obligatory upon everyone. فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنكُمُ الشَّهْرَ فَلْيَصُمْهُ. So coming back to the blessings of fasting, there is a hadith, the hadith of Abu Hurairah fi Sahihain, where the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam quotes Allah. So when the Messenger quotes Allah, what type of hadith is this? Hadith Qudsi, where Allah said, كل عمل لابن آدم له إلا الصيام فإنه لي وأنا أجزي به. All of the actions that the child of Adam does, lahu is for them, إلا الصيام, except for fasting. فإنه, it is for me, وأنا أجزي به, and I will reward it. So Allah says all the actions we do is for ourselves, except for fasting. How about salah? Is it salah for Allah? قُلْ إِنَّ صَلَاتِي وَنُسُخِي وَمَحْيَايَ وَمَمَاتِي لِلَّهِ. Your salat and your sacrifice belongs to Allah. All ibadah belongs to Allah. So why did Allah say fasting? Allah Azza wa Jalla said fasting, and here Ibn Hajar mentions 10 statements of the scholars why Allah said fasting is special. Why is fasting special? The great scholar Ibn Jawzi rahimahullah, the reason he said that, the reason why Allah said illa siyam, except for me, except for fasting, indeed except for fasting, فَإِنَّهُ, it is for me. Because fasting is the only ibadah that there is no showing off in. There is no riyah. there is no riyah whatsoever. Because only Allah knows the ones who fast. Because fasting is a sirrun bayn Allah wa bayn al-abd. It is a secret between Allah and the slave. As for praying, Hajj, giving zakah, وَإِذَا قَامُوا إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ يَذْكُرُونَ اللَّهَ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. When they would stand up in prayer, they would look at the people to kind of tell them, give sadaqah. Obviously, if you give someone $1,000, you put it in their pocket. They acknowledge, realize that you did the money. But fasting is different. فَإِنَّهُ لِي وَأَنْ أَجْزِي بِكَ. It is only for me because there is no need to show off. Because when you're making wudu, you put some water in your mouth. We live in a non-Muslim country. When you go to work, right? If you go and take a bottle of water, go inside the room, turn the light off, and drink some water. Who knows? That's what makes fasting special. إِلَّا الصِّيَامَ فَإِنَّهُ لِي. Also, fasting is unique in a way that even the angels do not know how much you receive. As for the other deeds, there is a formula of accounting for the good deeds. الحسنة بعشر أمثالها إلى 700. So whenever you do a good deed, it is multiplied by 10 to up to how much? 700. So the default is by 10. So when we fast the month of Ramadan, it is equivalent to fasting how many months? I just gave the formula right now. Not 1,000. It is equivalent to how many months? 10. So if you fast 1 month, it is like fasting how many months? 10. That's why the Messenger ﷺ, he said, من صام رمضان, whoever fasts Ramadan, ثم أتبعه ستة من شوال, and then fasts 6 days in Shawwal, it is like fasting the whole year. Because the Ramadan is 1 month multiplied by how much? 10. How many months is that? I want you to be with me, inshallah. It's a bit late, a bit tired. So be with me, inshallah. So you find that Ramadan, so man sama Ramadan, if you fast Ramadan, it is like fasting how many months? About 10 months, 10 months. Because the problem that we have today is that we read the hadith and we just drink it like water. I read the hadith, I drink it, I never reflect. Think about it. What would the Prophet ﷺ say? Whoever fasts for Ramadan and fasts 6 days of Shawwal, it is like fasting a year. How many months in a year? So let's do the math here. We have some young brothers and sisters. Let's do the math. So 1 month times 10 is how many? 10 months. Okay. Then you fast for 5 days of Shawwal. How many days of Shawwal? 6. 6 times 10 is 60. That's 2 months. There you have your year. There you have your year. So coming back to the virtues of fasting. The scholar Sufyan ibn Uyayna, because fasting, no one knows the amount of rewards that you get. إِنَّمَا يُوَفِّ الصَّابِرُونَ أَجْرَهُمْ بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ. So Sufyan ibn Uyayna, the hadith of Abu Hurairah, and it's collected by Bukhari wa Abu Dawood, where the Messenger ﷺ said, مَنْ لَمْ يَدَعْ قَوْلَ الزُّورِ وَالْعَمَلَ بِهِ وَالْجَهْلَ فَلَيْسَ لِلَّهِ حَاجَةٌ أَنْ يَدَعَ طَعَامَهُ وَشَرَابَهُ. Whosoever does not leave off قَوْلَ الزُّورِ. What is قَوْلَ الزُّورِ? فَاجْتَنِبُوا الرِّجْسَ مِنَ الْأَوْثَانِ وَاجْتَنِبُوا قَوْلَ الزُّورِ. What is قَوْلَ الزُّورِ? What does it mean? Again, let's go back to the drinking man. You read the